I'm 7 years old, and I'm the founder of the nonprofit called Cool and Dope. I'm on a mission to end all bullying worldwide by my 18th birthday on November 20th, 2030. And before we get started with this rally, I just want to run through some quick 3 words with you guys. Well, 3 rules, technically. Well, 3 things that you're going to hear. So, yeah. First one is, so this is our original plan. We were supposed to be doing this rally on Capitol Hill, but it looks like COVID gave us some new plans, which is actually kind of good because now we have more people join the rally. So, hooray for me. And, yeah, hooray. So, number 2, you're going to be hearing some bullying stories and ways how we can work together to stop bullying by a bunch of different voices. Also, including kids like me and you. And number 3, this bullying rally is in honor to 13-year-old Trey Tyson, whose legacy will live on. And those are my quick words for you guys. And just before we start this rally real quick, I just want you guys to have an open mind and an open heart. So just thank you guys, and let's get started.
My name is Rosalind Dyson, and on October 3rd, 2019, my life changed forever. His name was Trey. It's hard spelled backwards.
Happy birthday.
He was everything that his name suggests. He was caring, loving, compassionate, and just oh so forgiving. He would always say, "Mama, I'm going to live with you forever." And I'd be like, "No, you're going to find your wife. You're going to live with her." And he'd say, "But I have to take care of you." And I'd tell him, "Trey, I'm going to a nursing home. They're going to take care of me there." And then he'd say, "Well, wherever you're going, I'm going. Wherever you're going, I'll be. So I'm going to buy that nursing home." The last time I saw Trey alive, he was walking down the hall to his room. Little did I know, the next time I would see him, he'd be laying lifeless in his bedroom. It's been God's light, friends, and family, especially Trey's words, that have kept me.
You are making a difference in ways you don't even realize. You're very much appreciated.
I just really want people to know just how serious bullying really is.
Thought they were gonna be cute forever.
What?
My little brother. You know what? Your little brother.
You are the
praying.
little brother. Just wait for our birthday.
What you was praying for?
Praying for my little brother.
Pray for your little brother.
Yeah.
Who you praying to?
25 pounds, babies.
Oh, where this baby supposed to come from?
I want people to know that the pain from bullying can last over a lifetime. You may have a scar that heals. You may look at that scar every day and see that it's healed, and you don't even remember how you got it. Oh, but the scars from words, the scars from mistreatment, the scars from bullying. You can look at a scar you had yesterday and don't really remember how you got it. But you can remember the mean things, the mean ways people treated you 20 years ago. That's how impactful bullying is. I really want people to understand how final suicide is. How final it is. from both bullying and suicide, they both last more than a lifetime. And they echo through generations. Those that may be going through some things, those who just may be victims of bullying, those who are dealing with grief, loss, sorrow, anything negative, any darkness in your life, know that always in the battle between darkness and light, the light wins every single time. I want everyone to please remember tomorrow, I promise you, tomorrow gets better. But you have to be here. Keep living. Please also remember this. In a world where you can have anything, always, always, always have a heart.
It's me, James Collier, and I am here to tell you some news about my company, as well as some of my bullying experience, as well as here is my new puppy. He's not going to be saying anything because he's a little bit shy on camera, but that's funny. And anyway, so my company is called 3 For Me Inc., and it is an anti-bullying movement that does 3 things to end bullying. 1, it helps kids sign the anti-bullying pledge called the Anti-Bullying Pledge, and plus it helps people read the anti-bullying comic book, as well as creates my anti-bullying t-shirts. Now also, I have spoke to over 1,000 kids over the East Coast, and last year we went international, which is amazing because we went international, and which is great. We went to around South America, not South America, Costa Rica, around there. But yeah, it was amazing on the trips. On some of the trips, we also made it to many other places that I forgot, but let's not talk about that. But yeah, here's issue 1 and here is issue 2. Now, plus I have the 31-day challenge that's going on, which is you can walk, run, or bike 3 kilometers. Here's what it says. Walk, run, or bike 3 kilometers, as well as say the pledge. Look at yourself in the mirror and say the 3 For Me anti-bullying pledge, as well as do a daily challenge that I post on my Instagram and Facebook at III4 MEENDSBULLYING, and you can check out everything that's here on my Facebook, which is III4 MEINC.com. Let me say that again. III4 MEINC.com. I'm also have a goal of getting 20,000 anti-bullying pledges, and right now I am currently at, drumroll please, around 9,400, which is super close to getting halfway there. And since we don't have as many, went to virtual, we don't have that many people signing the pledge as we did before we went virtual. But that's pretty much okay, and that's pretty much everything I want to talk about. So, bye!
Hi, I'm Gabby B. Thank you so much for having me at this kids' rally against bullying. I'm so happy I got the opportunity to speak in this event because it's a really important topic to me. And I really want you guys to know my experience and to hopefully spread the information to other people, especially because it's real and it happens. and it's very serious. I've had a lot of experience as a child and a teenager with bullying everywhere that I've lived in. I've lived in a bunch of places, and obviously every country has a different culture, but also having to start off school over and over again was also part of why people would pick on me. I would be judged by my skin color. I would be judged by how I talk English or a language that I'm not really that great in, which is English. I've had experience where there would be kids that would spread rumors about me that would be false, like say that I pee in my pants when I was like 10, and just really mean things like, you know, very mean words, call me ugly. I've been called everything in the book for my whole life that I've gone to school. And, you know, I've had experience like, girls that I used to be really best friends with would spit on me the next day and would hate me for no reason. I wouldn't do anything. They would just like to bully me, and I already got spit on by them. I've got kicked on by this one guy that used to love just picking on me at school. I was like 5 or something, and every single time I went to recess, he would always kick me and then pull my hair, and he would like run laughing with his friends. And like one day I just decided to tell, well, my mom saw like a bruise on my leg, so she decided to go to the school. The school didn't do anything about it, so we decided to go to the owner of the school instead of the principal, and he finally did something. The kid got in trouble, but these things always continued with me. I've had experience where there would be like 10, this would be in high school, there would be like 10 rumors about me for no reason. People just calling me a bunch of names, and like I haven't done anything. Going to school and girls just staring at me like very dirty looks. I don't know what I ever did to them. I had a girl really wanting to fight me for talking to a guy she likes. I was friends with him, and like she would just not like me because of that. And like it's always those situations where I get bullied by girls is mostly about some type of guy that they like. Those would be my experience getting bullied. I have so many more. I would also go home and start crying a lot after I would go to school, and it'd be so upsetting to my parents, and that's one of the reasons why I ended up moving out of the state that I was in, because I was getting too many bullying situations and depressed. So we ended up moving to Florida, and I would just every single day when I started crying, I would get depressed, and you know, you had to go to school like 5 days a week, and I just couldn't. It was too hard to like continue on. I didn't feel safe at school. I didn't want to learn anymore because I was so scared that people would pick on me, and they would. So whenever I would go home, I would just want to end my life. And that's the truth. I had that mindset as a 10-year-old, as a teenager, a child. Like I had that mindset, and you know, one thing that stopped me was because I knew my parents loved me, and I had people that loved me. And you know, this is what happens in school, and this is important to talk about because there's a lot of people who goes through this, and a lot of people actually do end their lives. And what's important is that if you decide to talk, anybody that you decide to talk to that's getting bullied, you can change their lives. You can make them not want to hurt themselves, not want to, you know, think about things that they shouldn't be thinking about, because their life is precious, and that's really important. A lot of people look at school as their whole world. And everything that goes in school, they get so like scared about doing something that other people are not doing just to fit in, because then they'll get picked on. But what's important to know is that no matter what you're being called. Like, people will always be mean, you know? Not everyone's gonna like you. And every time someone calls you a name, don't worry about it, because these are just words, and that does not define who you are. You're gonna be the person to educate yourself, graduate, and then you're gonna be successful. And once you're successful, these bullies will look at you and be like, wow, I shouldn't have been mean to them. Because that's what happened to me. And that's what I want to share to you guys about, is that people are always gonna think you're something, but you know who you are. Just don't lose yourself and know exactly who you are. And the people that loves you is your parents, is your family, so trust them. Don't trust friends so much, because sometimes you can get really bad backstabbing friends. And that's coming from the truth. I've been bullied by friends that I thought was my bestest friends, and they really, really messed up my life. So don't trust everyone. Be careful who you trust, and always, always know that there's people that love you. I wanted you guys to really see my experience about this, because I've been through so many things that I almost ended my life. But I'm fine. I'm fine now. I've been through so many things, so many people calling me words, but they're just words. I know I'm not this. I know I'm not what they think I am, because they don't know me. You know what I mean? I want you to know I'm fine. So you can be too. If you're going through this, you can be fine too.
I fill my backpack and turn off my brain, walking the hallways of my school, dodging looks like bolts of lightning. Here, I feel like I am too much. I want to forget the present. Baptize me so I can start anew. I don't need this reality to hold me back anymore. I will fly to the moon one day, because I can. The kids at school say that's stupid. They say I'm stupid. They say I will never fly to the moon. I want to believe that they're wrong. I want to be a superhero. I want to save lives one day, but right now, I am only focused on saving myself. I want to be a superhero, but sometimes surviving feels like a superpower in of itself, and I think about letting go a lot. They tell me to, the guys at school. They call me names that I internalize. I look in the mirror and I don't see myself anymore. Long ago, I thought I could be anything I wanted. I am starting to believe them when they say that I am nothing at all, and that the worst is yet to come. The worst is yet to come, they say, and paralyze me in place. I have enough pain right now. I have enough pain to fill my therapist appointments. I have enough pain to fill my mother's shoulders with my tears. I don't need any more. Their insults are knives slicing to the bone, and I am Frankenstein, nothing but thin skin stitched hastily together. I am sand in their hands. They pick me up and I fall through their fingers. I am just a child, treading water, trying too hard to breathe. I live breath by breath, counting them until there's no more left to count. Sometimes I think the kids at school are counting my breaths too. They tell me that I'm better off dead, and it's hard not to believe them. I mean, look at this. Look at me. It's hard not to be but a sum of their insults. When I grow up, I want to be a kid again. I want a second chance at all of this. I want more than this. They tell me to die. Their words pull me down like gravity, like they're pulling me into my grave. When I grow up, I want to be an astronaut. In space, gravity can't hold me back. There, it doesn't exist. I will fly to the moon one day. No matter what they say, I will bring my dog and we will look at the impossible view that's only ours, and it will be even sweeter because they said that I couldn't. Because they were wrong. Because I survived. Because I will fly to the moon one day. And I won't need to die to get myself there.
Hello everyone, my name is Chloe, I'm 13 years old and I'm an international philanthropist. I started my own charity at the age of 8 called Chloe Cares. I support the homeless community by making tote-like bags, filling them with bare necessity items, and passing them out to homeless women. I inspire the youth to be change makers by teaching them leadership workshops and business skills, and once a year I travel to Ghana to install water pumps in school that don't have access to clean water. I'm also a published author, designer, and Giving Tuesday Spark leader. Let's talk about bullying. I'm not sure if most of us have dealt with this. Regardless if you're a kid, youth, or an adult, I remember being in the 4th grade and I was bullied for my hair. I was bullied because the girls would pick on me for changing up my hair so often. Can you imagine being a kid that is constantly on the news and doing good and being kind to others, and then going to school and kids are mean? It was hard, but thankfully I had the support at home to combat it. Lately, I've been telling the youth to be upstanders and not bystanders. No matter what you do or where you go, there will be someone in your path trying to stop you from doing good. But when we see or hear a bully, are we just looking and watching? If so, that's a bystander, someone who looks on the side and says nothing. But when you're an upstander, you stand up and speak up. Bullies rarely work alone. They have a supporting cast. But what happens when we don't give them the attention they want? What happens when we speak up for those who are scared? What happens when you speak up against a bully? Take your power back. When you watch a bully and do nothing about it, you're just as bad as them. We can't continue to do this. Being a bully is not cool, and most times a bully is just a jealous person. A person who wants what you have. So, when I first started my charity, the kids were noticing me and not being in school as much or leaving early to film things. So I tried to get involved with the kids at my school. I had all kinds of ideas to get them into community work. But what I've learned is that they don't want to do the work. They didn't want me to do the work. They didn't like the fact that I was doing something. So you made fun of me for doing something, but you didn't want to do anything. When I gave you an option to do something, you still didn't do nothing. What is that about? Bystanders show support. So be a supportive friend. Upstanders speak up for what is right. We want to lead by doing the right thing and also showing that everyone deserves to be treated with love, respect, and humanity. We all can tackle bullies by standing up for others. You also can write to your local politicians and find out how you can make changes in your community to pass laws against bullying. And lastly, remember being nice doesn't take that much energy. Do you want to be remembered as the mean kid in school or the one who was nice and stood up for others? Be an upstander.
Hello to Kavanaugh Bell, my friend, and all other 2nd graders, 3rd graders, 1st graders, kindergartners, everybody all up through 12th grade, college, and beyond, including Mr. and Mrs. Bell. Thank you so much for this rally against bullying. That is very inspiring. We know that bullying is a big problem. 1 in 5 kids report getting bullied at school or the playground or someplace else, and that is terrible. So that's a lot of kids. That is millions of kids really who have experienced it, and it's dangerous and it's bad for their health physically, it's bad for their health mentally and emotionally, and it's even bad for the bully's health because they get more and more addicted to their terribly mean and violent behavior, and they will get themselves into serious trouble and could end up going to jail. And that is not something that they should be looking forward to. So bullying is a real problem, and we've got a responsibility as parents, we've got a responsibility as kids, we've got a responsibility as teachers, everybody to confront bullying and to stop it and to try to prevent it from ever happening in the first place. And some of the bullying that's going on is bullying online. It's on Facebook, and it's on different social media, and that's of course for older kids like in high school and stuff, but that's dangerous. And so I joined the task force on digital citizenship to try to promote ethical and safe use of the social media like Twitter and Facebook and so on to try to combat bullying. And I also am part of a bill, Kavanaugh, you'd be interested to know, called the Safe Schools Improvement Act, which is trying to get grant money out to schools around the country to promote anti-bullying policies and anti-bullying initiatives in all of the schools. We've got a very similar bill related to the higher education, to college and graduate school, called the Tyler Clementi Anti-Harassment Act, and that is to prevent young people from being bullied in college by their classmates, by their roommates, and so on. But I remember Kavanaugh asked me if I'd ever had an experience with bullying, and I remembered back when I was in high school, I played on the soccer team, and we practiced at a nearby soccer field. And almost every day there were a couple of bullies, like very tough kids who would come and they would make fun of us, they would yell at us, and they would try to pick fights, but we would avoid them. And then one day we had a soccer game on that field against a group of kids that went to an international school, the Washington International School. So a lot of those kids came from all over the world, and they were from Africa, they were from Europe, they were from Asia. It was just an incredibly effective team. They were really good, but just wonderful kids from all over the world. Well, what do you know? The bullies come back, and they see this game going on. And even though everybody's, parents are there and teachers and referee and everything, they start to bully and heckle the kids, and more the kids on the other team than on our team. But they were doing it to both of us. And when the game was over and we lost like 6-1, I mean, we really got beat bad. But as we were walking off the field, the bullies came up and started messing with them. And you know what, Kavanaugh, they picked the wrong kids, because these kids, they didn't get flustered, they didn't get mad. And you know why? They knew karate. And the bullies came up and started trying to push a kid around, and they picked the wrong kids, because this kid and another one there, they knew karate and they knew how to defend themselves. And every time that the bullies came at them, they threw them off. At one point, they flipped one of them, and one of them came running at him, and I'll never forget what he said. He said, "Come on, fight like a man." And the kid on the other team who just beat us basically deflected his blow and then just like threw him over. So the bullies were completely defeated, and they never came back to bully again. But what was interesting was one day they came back and we invited them to play soccer with us, and they did. And they stopped bullying and they stopped being bullies. And so I was happy about that. And that was the story I remember about bullying that I wanted to tell you, Kavanaugh. And look, I hope all the bullying has stopped in your school. I'm sure through all of your excellent campaigning and organizing, it has. And I hope that any kids who are suffering from bullying are talking to their parents about it right away and talking to their teachers about it, because lots of times you can feel like it's you're the only person in the world who this is happening to, but we know that's not true. It happens to a lot of people. It's not your fault, and we can take care of it. We're tough enough to beat the bullies when we all stick together. So Kavanaugh, thank you for organizing us, kiddo. That's really wonderful, and thank you for bringing everybody together. And I hope everybody stays healthy and stays safe. Remember to wear your masks and keep your social distance. And please, everybody, be in touch. And I'm sending you love, your Congressman, Jamie Raskin. And everybody be good. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, Soleil here, and thank you so much for letting me talk about bullying. So I have had some experiences with bullying, but I know they're not as bad as, well, other girls that had bullying experiences. But if you are being bullied, I would suggest you tell a teacher. And right when you get home, make sure you definitely tell your parents. And because, they would be able to take care of it, especially if your teacher, doesn't take care of it as well. And, it's like a big weight being lifted off your shoulders, and, it'll definitely make you feel good. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I'll see you later. Bye!
Guys, quick announcement. October 7th, which is today, is the City of Gaithersburg's Youth Suicide Awareness Day. I went to the City Council to get this day dedicated so our community can reflect on how bullying affects kids like me and you.
Today I'll show you 3 ways to stop bullying. 1. Stick up for someone if you see that they're getting bullied. 2. Tell a teacher or an adult if you see someone being bullied. Treat everyone with kindness and respect. Let's work together to end bullying.
What's up, you guys? My name is Keshawn Freeman, and I'm from LaGrange, Georgia. I am a former NFL player and a former XFL linebacker, but today none of that matters. Just call me Keshawn. Because today I take a stand with you guys against bullying, and that is so important. Bullying is so important to me because I remember being a little kid with big glasses, with braces on my teeth, and I didn't fit the mold of what most people thought I should be. And because of that, I was bullied. They made me feel really low because they were calling me names and they were physically abusing me, and they made me feel as though I just did not matter. And if I felt that way back then, I'm sure there are people who are being bullied today who feel even worse. But that's what makes today important, because today we show the world that we're superheroes. And without a long cape hanging down my back and without a big mask covering my eyes, I still have the power to make a change happen. And so do you. I created a TikTok, and on the TikTok, one of my posts shows a transition from me being a bullied child to being a powerful adult man. And in this video, the message behind it says that even though today seems like a disaster, there are beautiful things waiting for you tomorrow, things that you can't even imagine, and people who will help pull you through. And that's what I hope this video shows to the world. So I want you to see this TikTok really quickly, because I want you to see little me to adult me. Check it out. That's crazy, right? It's crazy that little kid became the man that I am today. When I was a little kid, I was so blinded by the bitterness of what bullying was that I didn't realize that I had a really bright future in front of me. But people like you, people like Kavanaugh, and people like me are able to take off that blindfold and show people the beautiful light of the world. We have rules and regulations that can be created to say, hey, if you bully, you will have this punishment. But we also should not just worry about the person being bullied. We should also take in consideration the things that are going on in bullies' minds. If you are a bully and you're watching this, I want to show you that I care for you. My heart goes out to you because I know that there's something inside of you that is making you have so much pain. And I'm really sorry that it has to be like that. But I want you to know that you have someone like me who can help you walk through and say, even though I'm having pain, I don't have to put that pain on other people. You guys, we have to look out for the people being bullied and for the person being bullied. We have to make sure that their mental health is all right. We have to make sure that they're able to wake up in the morning and feel appreciated. We have to make sure that we don't bully the bully just because they're being mean. We have to be the inspiration, the light, and the example. Because without people like you and me, the world would be in darkness. Let's brighten up this world, and let's put a big end to bullying. I'm very confident that we will. Thank you, guys.
Did you know every 7 minutes a child gets bullied on the playground? Did you know 77% of kids get bullied mentally, verbally, and physically? And did you know 160,000 kids stay home to avoid being bullied? I was one of those 160,000 kids. Hi, my name is Anna Bucci, and I'm a 13-year-old actress, writer, director, producer, and anti-bully activist. When I was in 3rd and 4th grade, I was bullied about the color of my skin and for being part Kenyan. I was called names like African booty scratcher, monkey, slut, thought, ugly, and stupid. For months, I was bullied about how I looked, how I dressed, and how my hair was. And I was bullied by people who looked exactly like me. And I would always ask myself, why me? I never understood what I did wrong to get bullied. And what was most hurtful was to watch my friends not stick up for me at all. Being bullied made me feel like I didn't amount to anything. It made me question myself and wonder if I actually was pretty or if I was smart. I used to think I wasn't good enough, to the point where my grades started slipping from A's to D's, and to the point where I just stopped talking in general. Thankfully, from the love and support from my family and friends, I was able to overcome all those negative emotions and channel it by writing, directing, and producing my award-winning short film titled Made in His Image. I wrote Made in His Image because I wanted to start a conversation about bullying and to decrease the bullying statistics. I wanted to share my film to let children who are being bullied to know that they are beautiful, amazing, special, smart, and significant, no matter what anyone else says about you. And I especially wanted to let dark-skinned Black girls know that Black is beautiful. And that you don't have to be light-skinned to be beautiful. You are already beautiful. And know that you are royalty dipped in chocolate and honey and unapologetically Black. I thank my bullies daily. Because of them, Made in His Image got accepted into 12 national film festivals and a special premiere at the Cannes Film Festival, where I received the Rising Star Award. The film also won Best Young Talent and Best Show in Middle School. I've also been blessed enough to share my experience nationally with other boys and girls and help them understand their worth and their value. Even today, while we're living through 2 pandemics, bullying still exists, especially in the Black and brown communities. The Black and brown communities have been bullied to believe that racism is a fabrication in our minds. No more. No more will we be bullied to believe that Black lives have mattered when for years they have not. No more can we be silent, and no more will the Black and brown communities just be another hashtag. Us youth, we have the voice, we have the power, and we have the right to speak up for what matters. So when someone is in need, speak up and get involved, because the only wrong thing to say in that moment is to say nothing. So don't be a bystander, be an upstander. What I've mostly learned from my bullying experience is to not let someone's words define who you are. You define who you are. And I've also learned to stick up for others who are being bullied. And I've learned to tell someone right away when getting bullied. Don't wait. Tell a parent or a teacher, just someone you can trust. Because trust me, once you open up about your bullying situation, you'll know in that moment that you are not alone. And I've also learned to love myself and where I'm from. Because being part Kenyan is awesome. Because I'm African and awesome and made in His image. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lorianne Sales, Council Vice President of the Gaithersburg City Council. Did you know that on average, more than 100 people in the United States die by suicide every day? It's the second leading cause of death for teens and young adults, and the 10th leading cause of death overall. The Journal of the American Medicine says data from 2018 shows that suicide rates have been rising in the United States over the last 2 decades, and younger people, Latinx, Black populations are the most vulnerable right now. I cannot imagine what it must be like to be a student dealing with all of this uncertainty. Trust me, you are not alone. It's hard on us adults too. But what I have learned is that during troubled times, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be worried. It's okay to be confused. But it's not okay to be mean to someone else. It's not okay to lash out at other people because of the way you feel. It's not okay to keep everything inside of you. And it's not okay to shut yourself away from everyone. Talk with someone. Cry with someone. Share your stories. Share your pain. You are not alone. There are people who care. There are people who want to help. At the local level of government, our city works with a lot of people who know a lot about what people are feeling and how to help them cope. Gaithersburg has a long history of standing up for the rights of all people. We denounce hate and violence to make sure we are treating each other fairly and with respect. We are guided by the 6 pillars of the Character Counts program: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. One of the things we're best at is providing opportunities, especially for our younger residents, to grow and mature responsibly. And we do that through a number of programs that we either directly operate or that we support with grant funding. Let me tell you about a few. Our brand new Gaithersburg Study Bubble is run through our Youth Services Division for students in grades 1 through 8. It's a monthly club where students come to either Old Town or Robertson Park Youth Centers. They bring their own tablet or laptop and headphones to take MCPS classes there. City staff are available to help students. There's fun activities planned during the breaks and an optional free breakfast and lunch program, and financial aids available. You can learn more and register on our city website. We also have online activities through the City of Gaithersburg, free story readings for younger children, some with interactive craft projects, magic shows, and other entertaining activities, like educational programming and talks, like a conversation about Mars with a NASA scientist, or suffragist reenactors talking about women's right to vote for the 100th anniversary this year. And even some tales about ghosts in Gaithersburg just in time for Halloween. Information and links can also be found for all of our virtual programs on our city website at gaithersburgmd.gov. The City of Gaithersburg provides just over $1 million to a number of nonprofit organizations in our area that help people with things like food, medical treatment, jobs, financial education, and so much more. Some of that money goes to groups that work directly with youth in our schools, especially in the areas of mentoring and mental health. Here are just a few examples. Through its intergenerational Dream It Be It program, Soar Optimist International of Upper Montgomery County helps high school girls identify their post-collegiate goals and develop a concrete plan for how to achieve them. Liberty's Promise created a resource hub specifically for English language learners. They host regular virtual club meetings, but their mentorship program only works because staff connect daily with participants to provide technical assistance and to ensure that they are feeling emotionally and mentally well. We also have Family Services, who recently revamped its Keys to Success Early Head Start program to provide early interventions for each participant. Each day, staff communicates with all enrolled participants to provide emotional and academic support for at-risk high school students who are disproportionately impacted by traditional and immigrant-specific adverse childhood experiences by helping them manage stress through coping techniques such as mindfulness. Not every coping mechanism involves a structured program. Sometimes it helps just to practice mindfulness while being outside. On September 25th, we opened our 27th park in Gaithersburg, Discovery Park, which is off of Great Seneca Highway by AstraZeneca. We encourage you to get some fresh air, exercise, and enjoy nature. It's my go-to when I need to distress. Another way to be well and to help cope with what we're dealing with is to find the energy and strength to help someone else. There are lots of ways to do that. For example, giving back to the community. Volunteer and donation needs are posted regularly at Montgomery Serves. You can sign up for alerts by topics, and then you can get an email telling you about volunteer opportunities that match your interests. There's a program called Teens Helping Seniors, where teens are volunteering to deliver groceries to adults. Sharing Smiles, an interactive initiative of empowering the ages, connects adults to youth. You can find pen pals, write stories, create poetry, share artwork, inspire yourself and others with motivational quotes, and creatively share your individual strengths. Groups and individuals can sign up online by visiting the Empowering the Ages website. There's also a community food pantry started by my good friend Kavanaugh Bell, who founded the nonprofit Cool and Dope based in Gaithersburg, Maryland. His love is greater than COVID-19 community drive-through pantry has served over 3,000 individuals in need throughout Montgomery County, Maryland. I joined Kavanaugh and other volunteers to serve our residents. Visit Kavanaugh's Cool and Dope website to learn more about opportunities to volunteer with safety practices in place. Gaithersburg is a great community because we listen, we respond, and we care about our diverse residents. Because suicide affects families from every walk of life, never, ever hesitate to reach out to us if there's any way we can help. We can all play a role in offering help and support to those in need around us. Will you stand with us to challenge the stigma around youth suicide to help us build healthier environments that foster change, acceptance, and open communication? We want to be the best community we can be, but we cannot do it alone. And we know that the only way we can do that is for us to stay connected with each other. Can we count on you?
Have you ever been picked on, teased, threatened, made to feel less than? In other words, bullied. Bullying includes unwanted aggressive behavior. So many people face bullying on a daily basis, called fat, ugly, skinny, even black. They are left to feel like their lives don't matter, like they should just go crawl up a hole and never come out. What gives somebody the right to talk about, make rumors up, and even physically hurt somebody? There are many forms of bullying, like being subject to rumors or lies, being pushed, tripped, or spit on, being made fun of, being threatened, being left out, exclusion, or destroying a person's property. And then we have cyberbullying. Among the students ages 12 to 18 who reported being bullied at school, 15% of them stated that they were bullied online or by text. I remember hearing a story on the news a couple of years ago about how a kid around my age tried to hang himself because he was constantly being bullied at school, not too far from my school. Thankfully, he did not die, but he was left in bad shape because his brain without oxygen for so long. He is now in a wheelchair, can't speak, is partially blind, and is not able to use his arms and legs, all because some kids at school could not leave him alone. And this is one of the 100 stories across the world of kids being so upset and hurt and lonely that they decide to end their life. While the majority of young people who are bullied do not become suicidal, research shows that constant bullying can lead or worsen feelings like isolation, rejection, exclusion, and depression, which can contribute to suicidal thoughts or behavior. I'd like to share a little bit of experience. I have felt different types of bullying, such as exclusion, being threatened, being talked about. Even though my parents and my family always told me good things about myself to try to uplift me, I have allowed other people's thoughts to affect how I feel about myself. Sixth and seventh grade was a very rough year for me, and I didn't wish a huge pandemic would come flying about, but let's just say I was so happy when remote learning began because I was just tired of the mess I was dealing with at school. It was a much needed break, and I was allowed some me time to rethink my friendships and values and my real feelings about myself. During this time, I have been able to relax, reflect, and release some tensions that I was holding on to. I was able to be free, like have a free judgment, like no judgments on it. It was really cool, and I have a daily affirmations with a pillow in my room that whenever I'm feeling stressed and I just feel like I need it, I always say those words to myself, and it just really helps with that situation. And I think that can really help with your situation if you're going through something like that. And I felt so much clarity that I decided to complete one of my 2020 goals and becoming an author of a children's book called I Am, which is designed to help young kids believe in themselves and not care about what other people have to say about you. Every day is a new day, and we can create new experiences each day. I suggest finding a way to pull yourself out of that dark place that you might be in. If you can't do it by yourself, find somebody that you trust to talk to. And if you don't have anybody that you can trust with your feelings, pull out a pen and start writing down your thoughts. Get them out of your head. You ever notice how much better you feel when the sun is shining and how you might be a little bit slower and sluggish on a rainy day? Our job is to find the light in the dark. On a rainy day, find the reason to enjoy the water coming out the sky. We need the rain, so let's not think of it as a bad thing that might ruin our day. I think it's the same thing with bullies and feeling bad about yourself. You have to find your I am moment in everything. So let's go through it. I am great. I am smart. I am intelligent. All these different words. So, what are you?
Hello, my name is Linda Diaz, and I am the CEO and founder of Lorenz Law Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated in promoting kindness through the importance in prevention training on bullying and mental health awareness. October is National Bullying Prevention Month, and I am honored to support the Kids Rally Against Bullying. I would like to share a little of my daughter's story. In the fall of 2012, an adult took my daughter's pictures from her Instagram account and began sharing them via private messaging, texting. They began taunting and gossiping about my daughter's sexuality. As soon as I was told about this, my oldest daughter, my life partner, and I attempted to ease Loren's growing anger. We made sure to support her continued privacy, as well as making sure that Loren updated her settings to block those adults. But by this time, the devastation was massive, as my 14-year-old's private struggle with her identity was stolen from her. Loren turned 15 years old on January 26, 2013. And on February 15, 2013, Loren sent me on an errand. Little did I know that I would be returning to find my daughter, having to cut her down, perform CPR, dial 911. And although Loren was stabilized as she was medevaced to Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, she later died at 4:09 a.m. on Saturday, February 16, 2013, as a result of her suicide. Since my daughter's suicide, I have become an advocate against bullying in support of mental health awareness. I'm always concentrating on youth as I learn that taunting and alienation with these children caused immense fear and shame and embarrassment, and it takes a toll on these children, becoming very, very traumatic and difficult in order for them to cope while growing through their teenage years. Since 2013, children got younger while the suicide rates for youth increased. Suicide is now the second leading cause of death for youth between the ages of 10 and 14. It is absolutely clear that kids will show major signs of depression and trauma. While working on legislation, House Bills 947 and 920, named after my daughter, it is at that time that we learned that while helping teachers and counselors and coaches to receive proper training in health and wellness, that we needed to learn to communicate better with our children. Because of Loren's laws, I started to receive many requests from families in crisis. And the reason was bullying is still being looked at as children being children or children playing games and to let them be. Children are not born bullies. They are taught to be bullies. And some become bullies because they themselves are in so much pain. Words and cruel acts do not have a time limit on these children. The mental damage caused haunts these children that have been bullied through the rest of their lives. The gray area between where, when, and how bullying is done continues to allow many abusers to get away with traumatizing others. Some may say the incident happened off school property. Law enforcement officers may say that this is a civil matter, not a police matter, while others will turn a blind eye. And the most popular one is, the First Amendment gives me the freedom to say whatever I want. Well, just because you have the right to say something does not make it the right thing to do. Social media platforms are now taking a stance against bullying by allowing bullies to be reported. Parents can monitor their children's email and devices to prevent or stop bullying. State departments of education are now creating policies to enforce bullying, harassment, and intimidation complaints. But we must stand united against bullying in order to help create a better future for our youth. This does not mean take action by violence, but take action in volume. Take action in using your words and working with legislation and make a change. That's what we did. Parents and students in Maryland stood together. Thanks to Maryland legislation and Governor Larry Hogan as they listened to their constituents. And in April of 2019, Senate Bill 103, Criminal Law Electronic Harassment and Bullying, is now one of the toughest anti-bullying laws in the nation. In October of 2018, Maryland also passed Senate Bill 725, the School Response, which is bullying, cyberbullying, harassment, and intimidation. Will you join us to be the voice for those who cannot speak? Thank you for being here in support of a very important cause.
Wow, I learned a bunch of stuff about bullying that I didn't already know. But it was heartbreaking hearing all the sad stories about bullying and how it can affect you. But I know together we can end bullying. And this is just the first step, to speak out. And stay tuned for October 2021, because we're going to be taking this rally live on Capitol Hill. Stay cool, be dope, and make sure that you make positivity a thing. I love you guys. Peace.